Valentin Elizalde is a rising banda musician with noted ties to Joaquin El Chapo Guzman and the Sinaloan cartel. Elizalde has been invited to play a show in the city of Reynosa, which is believed to be territory controlled by the opposing Gulf cartel. He's reportedly given a note during the beginning of his performance, reminding him of the condition that he must not play his song A mi Enemigos, to my enemies, as it was considered an offense to the local Gulf cartel members. Elizalde would ignore these warnings and both start and close the show with that very song. In a twisted story involving El Chapo, the US government, and a YouTube comment section, Elizalde would be murdered that same night in a brutal shower of bullets. Valentin Elizalde was born on February 1st, 1979, in a small village named Jitonhueca in the state of Sonora, Mexico. Elizalde's family would eventually settle in Guasave, Sinaloa, returning to the birthplace of his father, Everardo Elizalde. Lalo Elizalde was a widely known singer, with over 58 albums recorded during his 30-year career. He was known as El Gallo, or the Rooster, because of the powerful and brave tone of his singing voice.
Aqui en mi corazón tú mandas y tú pones las condiciones. Esclavo soy de tus.
Lalo Elizalde would die at the age of 52 in a car accident on a stretch of road known as La Cueva de la Muerte in Villa Juarez, Sonora. Through Lalo Elizalde's death, he would inspire his sons to perform music, with both Jesus and Valentín becoming established recording artists. Although music was Valentín's passion, his mother Camila Valencia was practical and urged him to go to the University of Sonora to pursue law. It is not completely known if he completed his degree, but it is believed around the same time Valentín was finding his place as a performer. While performing, Elizalde caught the eye of Don Pedro Rivera, a regional musician and actor. Rivera was the same man that helped propel Chileno Sanchez to the heights of Narcocorrido fame nearly 10 years ago. Rivera recalls how Elizalde could command and captivate the room, reportedly playing nearly an hour past the scheduled time. Elizalde would begin recording music in 1998 with his debut album Regresan los Mafiosos, The Mafia's Return, released in 1999. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Elizalde would take time releasing his music in his early years, releasing roughly a record a year, eventually only 8 of his 14 while he was living.
Valentin Elizalde, esto se llama Mi Virgencita.
Siento que voy al cielo. Puedo decir que miro lo más hermoso del mundo entero.
Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, then leader of the Sinaloan cartel, is in the midst of serving a 20-year sentence at Puente Grande. Due to a recent ruling by the Supreme Court of Mexico, the path has been cleared for Guzman's extradition to the USA. In a plan that involves 78 prison officials and briefcases of bribe money, El Chapo would be smuggled out of the maximum imprisonment on January 19, 2001. Although in prison, El Chapo kept an active role in leading the Sinaloan cartel throughout his term. Elizalde would pay homage to the Sinaloan cartel and El Chapo through his music, which can be clearly seen in a song released in May 2001, El Escaped El Chapo.
Pues con la fuga del Chapo, muchos morirán de susto, y los que lo traicionaron ya no dormirán a gusto.
Although the connection was only heavily speculated at the time, El Chapo revealed in his 2018 trial that he had several artists commission songs for him, with Elizalde's name directly mentioned. Elizalde's infamy as a narcocorrido would grow even larger in 2005 when he reportedly performed for 3,000 inmates at that same prison in Jalisco. According to the Guadalajara newspaper Mural, the convicts at Puente Grande sang along to Elizalde's song Clave Fervada, Secret Code, a song celebrating Guzman's exploits. Elizalde would father several children with a few different wives, although by all accounts the extended family would remain amicable with each other. Valentín always made an effort to spend time with the children when he wasn't performing, but couldn't shake his reputation as a fan of the ladies. On April 16, 2006, Elizalde would release his last album while living, Vencedor, distributed by Universal Music Latino. Elizalde continued to sing about themes of love, triumph, and the always popular Mexican gang world. His most notorious song to date was released on this album, A Mi Enemigos, or To My Enemies, the same song that would eventually lead to his assassination almost exactly 7 months later.
Del camino, aquí tienen a un amigo.
It was widely understood that the song was commissioned for El Chapo, the leader of the Sinaloan cartel, and was interpreted by enemy cartels as a direct threat. Tensions rose to an all-time high when in August 2006, a YouTube user named Matazeta, Zeta Killer, uploaded a video on his channel featuring several images of executed members of the group Las Zetas, set to the music of Elizalde's A Mi Enemigos. One of the closing images shown was a picture of Alaska, who was known to be the head of the Las Zetas group at the time, later dying in a police shootout with authorities in 2012. The Las Zetas were formed as a response to the Mexican government attempting to stifle the smuggling activities of the Gulf Cartel in the late 90s. Then leader of the Gulf Cartel, Ociel Cardenas Guillen, used his military connections to press for the best men possible to assist the cartel's operation. What happened next was the desertion of more than 30 members from Mexico's Special Forces Army, at the time known as GAF. Among the original defectors were Arturo Guzman de Sina, El Hummer, El Mamito, and El Lasca. All members of GAF had elite paramilitary training, with direct assistance provided by groups like the Israeli Defense Forces, the American Green Berets, and the French GIGN. When the cartel offered salaries much higher than those paid by the Mexican army, Las Zetas members deserted GAF and quickly became the private mercenary army to the Gulf Cartel. In a short period of time, Las Zetas would take a larger part in controlling Gulf Cartel activities and had an active hand in managing drug supply lines, extortion, and protection efforts. They had a special priority placed on the border city of Reynosa, Mexico, as it was a major pipeline for smuggling drugs into the USA. The comment section on Elizalde's video would become a battleground for cartel members, with the Gulf and Sinaloan cartel trading insults back and forth. Threats included comments such as "videos like this cause the death of Chapitos," a term used to describe El Chapo's followers. Although Elizalde had nothing to do with the video upload, he was reportedly feeling the attention of members from organized crime, including high-pitched anonymous threats made over the phone. In an interview given 3 months before his death, he said he felt death was close and he wished that his music would be able to stand the test of time. It is also said that his will was drafted a month before his death.
Yo si algún día fallezco, pues simplemente que mi música siga adelante, ¿no? Y que la nueva generación la conozcan y que les guste, ¿no?
November 24th, Elizalde was set to play a show in Reynosa, Mexico, a territory that is considered to be in control by the Gulf Cartel and the ruthless Los Zetas. Despite prior warnings, Elizalde opens and closes the show with "A mi Enemigos," rallying supporters of both the Gulf and Sinaloan cartel. It is reported that word got back to the man was El Hummer, who was the Los Zetas member in control of that territory. El Hummer took this as an act of war and likely ordered the hit right away. Some accounts claim that Elizalde was approached after the show to play a personal show for a wealthy narco, but Elizalde declined as he had a pre-arranged meeting in another town. Valentin Elizalde left the show that evening alongside his manager Mary Mendoza, his driver Raimundo Ballesteros, and his cousin Tano Elizalde in a 2007 Chevy Suburban. All men inside the car would lose their life, with the miraculous exception being Tano Elizalde, who somehow survived the incident. Valentín would be yet another member added to the infamous 27 Club. The comments on YouTube continued to pour in, some mourning the passing of El Gallo de Oro, and some gloating in his death. This elevated even further when a video of Elizalde's autopsy was posted to YouTube shortly after, with his iconic boots spotted and framed to confirm. The homicide investigators found that 3 employees of Val de la Paz funeral home were responsible for taking and uploading the cell phone video. The hit is believed to be ordered by El Hummer but carried out by a Los Zetas member known as Flanders 1. By November 27th, YouTube had removed all of the mentioned videos from YouTube, wiping away the comments forever. However, it seemed that Elizalde's death sparked a massive interest in his music. Elizalde's greatest successes would come after his death, when his previously released album Vencedor became a #1 Latin Billboard hit, charting for 63 weeks after his passing. He would have 16 more appearances in the top 100, drawn from his live, original, and compilation album. He was also nominated for a Grammy in 2008 for his posthumous release, Lobo Domesticado. Elizalde's place as a Narcocorrido legend was forever cemented after his murder, but also served as a reminder of the danger that surrounded the cartel. His ex-wife Bianca was later murdered in 2016 in a point-blank execution-style murder. Elizalde's daughter was with her at the time, but remained unharmed.